What's happening, people? What's going on? Levels Rock Show, Cheese Town Radio. A little bit of kicking it about to go on right about now, man. First of all, we have a special guest in the building, Miss Dashera Walton. And I said that right?
You said it right?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure because you were looking at me kind of funny. You know, trying to make sure that they were right. She's a little ruthless, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, representing that Legend Foundation, man.
That's how the 155 is. Dude.
Yeah, man. I was checking her out, man. You know, she got a little fire underneath my man. You know, so yeah. Hey, but anyway.
Well, she gotta get it live right.
I'm trying to
get it right. She gotta plug up her TV.
Little Jane. I guess it's
She gotta plug the TV up. Well, how you doing though, Miss Lady?
Ooh, I'm doing good. I'm a little nervous. I'm in here with the Cheese Town Radio crew. I'm just trying to fit in, you know.
She really got the high voice on.
I seen it.
How in the world?
I saw that.
How you nervous? And you amongst people you know.
I don't know. I feel, because I guess it's my first time doing something like this in a really long time. I don't know. I was like so excited driving here.
Oh, you done ran through a light or two. But we ain't gonna talk about that too much. Yeah. But
before we talk about Miss Dashera Walton, I want to know about the Legend Foundation.
Right.
How was it founded? How did y'all get the name?
Okay. So to talk about the Legend Foundation, we have to talk about Sheena Lee Craft, who was a good friend and is a good friend of mine. She passed over in April of this year, and she had a vision when she was in college. She wanted to do an after school program, and so she met a man who told her, if you want to start after, because she was doing computers. She was working at a bank doing computers, and she hated it. And she knew she wanted to do an after school program. So a man told her, if you want to do an after school program, go and work in the school system and learn what the needs are, and then go and start an after school program. So she changed her career. She went to Regent. She got a master's, and she went and she worked in the school system. And the children, she worked with the African American boys, and she worked with the what do they call when you get put in what do they put after the little boys in? I can't think right now, but like like the at-risk youth, but they call it like learning disability. You know, when you're kind of like in the slower classes. I can't think of the name. Special ed. So she worked in special ed, and so this was an organization that was near and dear to her. So we collaborated because I was already kind of promoting financial education to the youth, and so we have a song that teaches financial education, and we collaborated, and she basically had a vision for an after school program, and we started it. We shot a movie I was telling you about a little boy who wanted to get a bike. His mom couldn't afford it, and so he had to come up with a way. He had to become an entrepreneur at the age of 7, and he ended up getting his bike. We got a song and everything that goes with that, and then we went into Northview schools. We worked with the youth. We taught them dancing, acting, poetry, music, and we just work with children, and we just mentor them, we tutor them, and we just encourage them and let them know that they can be whoever they want to be.
How did you get involved?
Well, I got involved because I'm a giver. So like I motivate people to do their goals and dreams. So if you tell me something you want to do, then I'm gonna ask you about it, and I'm gonna motivate you, and I'm gonna encourage you. And so I had written a little book about the little boy Kenny or whatever. And so I shared the song with Sheena, and I told her this is what I wanted to do. And so she told me what she wanted to do, and I was doing all the paperwork and stuff. I was about to go to SEC, you know, when you start a business. I was like, I mean, am I a founder or what, Sheena? Right. What is my role? What is my position? And so she said, let me think about it, you know, and she let me know that she wanted something that was near and dear to her. She wanted her own thing. And so I was like, well, dang, I done already gave you my song, you know what I mean? Like, so I was like, you know, I had already figured out if she said that it was just her thing, I was going to be okay. I already knew what my backup plan was going to be. If she said I was going to be a a co-founder. That was great. And then she researched an organization that she was kind of patterning the Legend Foundation after, and she found out that there was a main guy who was the face of it, but there was a background person who did the same stuff that I do, do the paperwork, do that business stuff. And she said, you're a founder. And actually no one even knew. It was just in the paperwork. No one knew until after she passed away that, I was a co-founder. And I think about when you give, because at the end of the day, I wanted that song and that vision and that movie to go forth. It wasn't about me and my name on it. It was about who's best to be able to get that job done. And so I was willing to give that away for the betterment of the people. And when you give, no one knew that Sheena was going to pass away. You know what I mean? But when you give, it just comes back to you. And
how did her passing affect how you feel about the foundation now, and how did it affect your drive?
Well, when Sheena passed,
because it had to be dramatic.
Very. One, I'm a business person. I majored in finance. I went to Howard. I worked on Wall Street and whatever, all types of other stuff. So my mentor told me to always have a partnership agreement. When you go into a business, you need to know what your exit strategy is going to be. And in that partnership agreement, it says if somebody passes away, what happens? I want my part of the business to go here, or go back to you. Correct. And even though I knew that was something we were supposed to do, we did not do it, right? So when Sheena passed away, I really didn't know what to do. But Sheena has a sister. Her name is Tamara. Y'all might know her. Shout out to Tamara. And first off, let me give a shout out to, because to answer your question, Sheena and the relationships that she had with the people made it so that everyone wanted to, in the spirit of Sheena's life, give back to the Legend Foundation. So when Sheena left, it was every person who loved Sheena purpose, and a way to giving back to Sheena to do what they could for the Legend Foundation. So the Legend Foundation was Sheena, and me basically being her sidekick, which began to be me,
her partner.
Me having a whole bunch of other people come and join in, and basically her sister, who it's her business, Tamara Lee Crawford, it's her business to carry on Sheena's legacy. Her best friend Tiffany, another best friend Erica, another best friend Candace. That makes up the board. Yeah, shout out to them. And it's we. You always say we are Legend, and so it just made everyone come together. We have people that's not even on the board, but that just gives money, that contributes, that's at the event. So Sheena left a legacy, and it's funny because it's Legend. You know what I mean? It's Legend. Legend. There was the reason how the name Legend actually came about. Now that I'm thinking about it, she had a little girl that she mentored. Sheena been in the game with children forever, and she had a little girl that she mentored in this community. I forgot something village in Virginia Beach, Friendship Village, right? So Sheena used to go out there and mentor these people, and one of them was this little girl. And this little girl became beautiful, and she became a model. And Sheena took her from being a little girl to being like a fierce model. And this little girl got pregnant, and she had a son, and she named the son Legend. And then it was just crazy because I had a friend. Have y'all ever had a friend, and sometimes a male friend, and they just say if money is an issue, it ain't an issue, And so they just take care of you. Ever have a financial problem, this person takes care of it. And it wasn't just with me. This man, he did it for anybody. If he met you today and you said, Lord, I need $1,000, or whatever, and his name was Legend. He passed away. He got killed. But he would literally get robbed for like $8,000. I mean, that's how abundant he was. But you didn't have to rob him. He would give it to you.
Right.
So I was like, what is the likelihood that a man that I find so near and dear, that was my angel here on earth, his name is Legend. This little girl gives a birth to Legend, and then Sheena would pass away and be a legend. And when that Drake song comes on, it says, when I die, I'm a legend, and I'm like, this thing is big. And one of my goals in life, I create legacies for people. You know what I mean? Like a legacy plan, so that if you were to pass away, your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren know who their great-great-great-grandma was and where she's from, like that legacy. Because in our community, because you talked about earlier slavery and so forth, we don't know our legacies. We don't know who we're from. We don't know any of that. So that's the way the name came from, a from a little girl having a baby named Legend, and that's how we started the organization.
You're dropping a lot of jewels too, as far as educating the people on how to properly run a business, how to properly go after your passion. Like even when you said we didn't have the proper agreements in place when she passed. I was just recently listening to one of Capo's favorites, T.D. Jakes, and he said if it's not on paper, it's not a business. It don't exist.
Right.
And he was absolutely right because of the way you need to structure things. And then you also stated that the way y'all came up with your name, it was something passionate, which drives you. So it's more than about the money.
Right.
I've basically been knowing Dashera all my life, and I had no idea that she was involved in this great organization until. Shout out to Iwan Johnson. Like father, like son. That's my people. That's my family. That's my brother. Love him to death.
Mine too.
He had a cookout. And the Legend Foundation, and Mom was with me.
Yeah, it was amazing.
The Legend Foundation had a table, and that Cheryl walked up to me and said, "Sean, buy a T-shirt." Y'all know how I am. I'll support. To support, I'll spend anything to support. I said, "Yeah, whatever." I bought a T-shirt, and I talked to her. I talked to Miss Lisa Nixon Boyd. I talked to Tamara, and y'all collectively gave me information about this organization. I was like, "That's pretty dope." One thing about Cheesetown Radio, we're all from Chesapeake, and for everybody that's tuning in right now, Cheesetown stands for Chesapeake. That's what Cheesetown is.
Yep.
There's a lot going on in Chesapeake.
That's right.
As Fundraiser highlighted last week, we're using our platform to put organizations like the Legend Foundation, Team 083, shout out to Tyree Delp. We're putting these organizations in the forefront that a lot of people don't know about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my platform to highlight these organizations. That's why I asked you to come on the show tonight. And I really appreciate you taking your time out to come sit down here and talk to us.
Thank you. Oh, Tamara said she sold you a T-shirt. Yeah, no, we thank you.
That was a Legend Foundation, but I want to know about Dashera Walton as the person.
Yeah, it's a lot. Which side?